Hey guys, I wanted to give you a video to help you with your goals because I know like new you, new year, everybody has something they're focusing on and reflections that they should have done better in 2020, things that they want for this year, etc. Personal, it can be for work, it can be for anything. And I want to go over what will set you up to succeed with your goals versus just goal setting. A lot of people miss some crucial steps because we have some issues with follow through. We have some issues with getting over blocks, getting over mental blocks, and this prep that you can do with your goals will help you to succeed past your goals and into what you're looking to do for yourself. A lot of us will have awesome intentions. So you have your goal of, let's say, okay, workout goal, right? You have your your piece of paper, you write down what your goal is for your weight, maybe your goal of how you're going to eat, etc. So let's just focus on one really simple one. So I have a weight goal. So you write down your weight goal, okay? So I write that down. So I know that by this time, it's good if you put out a timeline. So by March, I want to weigh this much, although weighing anything does not matter because I lost inches and still weighed more. So just remember that task. Potentially, if you're going for weight, why don't you measure yourself in all different areas? You can Google it if you don't know how to do it. And measure that and say how many inches you'd like to lose. Last year I lost 20 inches and lost 0 weight. So, am I mad about that? I kind of was, because the scale is like the number I've always focused on when I was little but younger. But am I mad about 20 inches being gone? Oh, heck no, that's awesome. But we have to shift our mindset. So remember too, with goal setting, remember where the foundation of your goal is that you're trying to set. So weight, is that realistic? No, because now we know that you can lose inches and still weigh very similar because of muscle mass and different things with weight. So March, I want to be 150 pounds, let's say, and I want to lose 15 more inches, okay? So that's my goal for March. So I have a end point. I have a range of successful things. I don't want to worry that weight, but we'll see. But if I get 2 of them, it's nice if you have a goal, but you have a goal that's similar to it with it, so that if you don't make it to that one goal, you're still succeeding with another one. So I like to put something that's kind of by it too. So 2 parts of the goal. So let's get to it. Ready? Things that are going to set you up for this. You have to, this is the thing that people don't always look at. And this is where a lot of people will fall. Because we have these awesome goals, we're excited, say we're working out for the first 3 weeks of January, we're doing really awesome, and and then we weigh ourselves and we get really super discouraged and we're done. So let's address something with our goals. This is a big one, so you got to really think about this. What is something that you're going to come across between now and March that may set you back? That is going to put a block up for you. Something that that you routinely can regress from because you have fear, or it's too hard, or you're getting out of your comfort zone a little too much and it's rough for you, or something that just energetically comes up in front of you that blocks your success with this goal. Majority of people have a goal that they have tried to achieve numerous times. So we know we have good intentions for that goal, but do we have good intentions to combat the things that get in our way of our goal? Because we need to be realistic. Things will come up because we need to challenge ourselves. Whatever our goal is probably something that's a little harder for us because we want to shift from this being our comfort zone to this new comfort zone. And by that transition, your body and mind and the energy of the world is going to challenge you from transforming from this person to this person because they want to make sure you deserve it. Want to make sure you really want it. So goals should not be easy. They should challenge you because at the end you got to look back and be like, yeah, I did that. So let's approach this in a different way. Goal, awesome. But what's going to get in your way? Okay. This is sometimes the hardest thing, but sometimes it can be the easiest thing. I know with weight loss or, getting better with how you feel about yourself, it's a lot easier to give yourself the things that are going to get in your way than the actual goal. Okay, so sometimes this is actually a really easy thing depending on what the goal is. So you can write out. When you write something down on a piece of paper, even if you never look at it again, you're actually committing to it energetically. You're setting it from your conscious mind and putting it to your subconscious mind, and you're literally allowing your body to be like, whoa, we're doing this. So writing out things is very good to put that intention into action and actually put that into power. So we're storing this in our subconscious mind. It's not just a thought. It's going into our hard drive and it's staying there. So never look at it again. That's fine. You're putting it into power right now and you're setting your intention. So that's huge. So some people will just say, okay, my goal is this, and do nothing energetically to commit to it in a tangible form. Write it down. Okay, so we are going to write down some obstacles, okay? I'm just gonna be real. I'm gonna write down my obstacles for you and I'm gonna tell you about it because I have nothing to hide, right? Okay, so this is actually a very vague goal. I'm gonna eventually tell you what my big goal is with this, but we'll go through that. This is about you guys. Okay, so I want to lose some inches between now and March, okay? Something that I know routinely, Stephanie has really good intentions January and February, and I've noticed that on my goal wall in the workout room at my parents', I always get back into it at March, which tells me, that's where it usually is, which tells me is something falls off between January and March. So what is it? I'll lose enthusiasm. I'll probably get hard on myself because of eating habits. That's usually what people get. They have this strict idea of what you have to do for eating. And when you continue to fail a couple times, you have a pizza, the next day you have cake or something like that. And then all of a sudden you're like, you know what, I'm done. I can't do this. It's too hard. And it's easier to eat crappy than to eat healthy. And you fall off of that routine of meal prepping, of putting vegetables first, etc. So I'm going to say self-sabotage. With eating crappy. So now we have our goals, and we have one of the actions that actually is going to get in my way. I'm writing down a roadblock. I'm literally writing down a roadblock. Why is this? Because now I'm going to put actions that help me to get around this roadblock. So what are we doing? We are taking our endpoint, our goal, and we are preparing ourselves to move around our roadblocks. We are allowing ourselves to set us up for success by identifying our weaknesses. Instead of saying, yeah, I want this goal. When you're goal setting, visualize what that's going to look like, visualize how you're going to get there. And we usually just see workout, eating good, being good to ourselves, self-care, all that stuff. But when we manifest things, we don't always see and visualize the roadblocks. So let's put the roadblocks in now to our visualizations, because we need to be realistic with ourselves. We always try to self-sabotage ourselves before we succeed in something. We always get into that self-doubt. We always get into our head. And this happens because our body is used to that old routine and it wants us to stay safe in that old routine. By the way, your subconscious mind has no idea if a habit or a pattern or the present you is good or bad for you. It doesn't know if this is really good or if this is really bad. All it knows, are you ready for this? All your subconscious knows is that this is what you are. This is your habits. This is your routines, and you're good at doing those. Think about that. It doesn't know if it's good or bad. That's why, say, if you're an alcoholic, you continue to drink, you really want to stop, you really do, but the thing is your subconscious mind knows you're really good at drinking, and you're really good at doing that when this happens and this happens and this happens, and it's easier to do that because you're good at it. You already have conquered that. It's easier to say no because your body's like, but we're so good at that. Your subconscious mind wants you to master things, but it has no discernment between if it's a good master or a bad master. Really sit on that. Really, really, really sit on that, because that is the key to transformation and self-improvement. You have to understand that. So when you're sitting there and you have this goal, you really want it, but all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, I'm getting back in my head. This is so much easier to do that. And you pick that because it feels safer. It only feels safer because that's what you're routinely doing. That's what your subconscious mind is like, no, we're good at this. But if you want to be good at that and achieve your goals, you have to allow yourself to know it's going to feel hard. You're going to feel panicky. You're going to get that self-doubt in your head. But when you think of that, just be like, no, I want this. This is my new comfort zone. This is the new me. I don't want those old habits. And you can say those things out loud. If you get that thought, just take your invisible scissors and cut that idea out of your head and pull it out and say, no, cancel that. I don't want you. When you cancel a thought, it stops your subconscious mind from storing it. Which is a game changer. That's like mind blown right there, right? You have the power to shift your cognitive thinking. You just have to understand the workings of our body. So now you understand that when we're hitting goals, awesome. Love that you have a goal. Love that you have a goal. But we have to make sure that you're allowing yourself to succeed in that goal. The easiest way to succeed in the goal is to allow yourself to get around your blocks. The easiest way to fail is to ignore the fact that you're going to have blocks, because we're going to have blocks, okay? So I'm going to self-sabotage. I could potentially self-sabotage myself with eating. So we understand the block now. We're not done yet. Now we have to take some action steps and give ourselves some solutions to getting around your block. We're either going to punch through that block, you're going to walk around it, whatever you visualize yourself doing it. I visualize a thing crumbling in front of me like a glass thing. Sorry, see ya, and walking through that. So with mine, I'm going to get in my head about eating crappy, and then I'm going to fall into a spiral, okay? So how can I get some action steps around that? And now I always urge people to have a plan A, a plan B, and a plan C, okay? Because if you have more than one option, when that time comes, you're more likely to agree with that option. If you just give yourself one solution to get around your roadblock, you could still block yourself, because what if you don't like that? But if you all of a sudden notice this and you're like, oh, I prepped for this. I can either sink into a hole. You could do the bad one, because that will really be like, no, I don't like this. You can either just be like, you know what, give up and just eat. Or you can do what? Know that one meal is a meal. It's just one meal. The next one you can eat better. So find balance in your eating. And stop letting yourself have guilt over what you're eating one time. One meal of this cake that you indulge in that may have made you feel sick because you ate so much isn't going to stop you from achieving your goals. It isn't going to stop you from getting on the treadmill. It's not going to stop you from waking up and be like, I'm starting over again. So balance and let go after you enjoy. Please enjoy that meal. Okay, so I have two options now. Okay, this seems good. Now I want one more, because we're gonna push ourselves, because sometimes when we're in that situation, it might be hard. So 3 action steps to get around your block, please. This is the hard stuff, but you have to be realistic. What else? What can I do to get around this self-sabotaging things? Don't bring it into the house. Stay away from it. Stay away from it, which is easier for me. So now I have my goals of what I want to, how many inches I want to lose in March, and I have a roadblock that I might come across, and I have solutions for it, action steps. So this doesn't mean that we're setting ourselves up to do these things. It just means that we're allowing ourselves to take our goal and find options that might get in our way, and allow ourselves to have action steps to literally just like in a video game, okay, we're running towards whatever, and then all of a sudden, I haven't played video games, whatever gets in front of you, you gotta punch the thing and get through. Just be like, yeah, okay, so what? Bam, I'm gonna do this instead. And then you continue walking. If you don't realistically identify what's going to get in your way of your goals, you can panic, you can regress easily, but this is giving you the confidence in the capacity to understand these things might come up. This is your patterns. And these are things that you have to identify. Yeah, you know what? This is something that is bad for me. This is a roadblock. And I can write that on here. Roadblock. But now I have a way to get around it. Your percent of pushing through a roadblock is higher if you preconceive solutions. So if you don't preconceive solutions, what is your percent of moving past that block? It's 100% you're going to stay in from that block, most likely, unless you're having just a freaking fabulous day and everything's going right. But usually roadblocks come up when we energetically are getting a little bored. We're starting to doubt that this is something that's easy for us. Things in the universe are starting to challenge us and we're feeling a little weaker. And that's when the roadblocks come. They never come when you're feeling on top of the world. But that is the part of learning inner strength. And that is something that's really cool. If you think about this, you're doing awesome, you have so many weeks into your goal, and then all of a sudden, the one day your coffee spills, something happens at work, a deer hits you, whatever, and when you're driving, everything's fine. And then the end of that day, someone offers you a piece of cake and you're like, you know what, I'm gonna eat the whole freaking cake because today sucked. And then all of a sudden you're like, shit, I just don't want to do this anymore. It's not working for me. But what's not working for you? We're all going to go towards that goal is not working for us. And then all of a sudden we get in their head. And then the next day we do some actions that are not good. And then soon we're 3 days down into sabotaging ourselves and we're not strong enough to get back up. So what do? You have to sit there and be like, okay, it doesn't matter what's happening around us. We have to remember what our goal is, how it's going to make us feel, and how much better we are. These are just situations. We just have to release them, let go, and think about our actions that are going to get us past this roadblock. And I'm just going to say, okay, I had a couple bad days. I can reset and I can go right back into this. I'm ready and I'm good because I'm going to find balance in these things and realize, okay, whatever, it's a situation. It does not define me and it does not change my goals. And it does not change that I want to get out of my comfort zone of this old Stephanie and go into this new one. I'm going to focus on that Stephanie. I'm going to focus on getting through it. And I'm going to visualize breaking through this mind block and continuing through it. We have the control of what we are achieving. We have to remember the universe is out there to make you strong. Now think about it. All that stuff happens, you feel knocked down, but then you realize, you know what? It's a roadblock. Let's go. Let's get past this. Let's do our action steps and realize we can get through this. When you go 2 weeks past this and you're back on track and you can sit back and be like, holy crap, when I was 27, that would have got me. When I was 31, that would have got me. When I was 33, that would have got me. But I am 34 now and I have a strong mindset and I deserve this. That did not get me. Those old patterns are not mine anymore. And I can identify this and I can get my butt up, my mind out of the gutter, whatever, gutter is not the right word I was looking for, but the mind out of my butt, and literally continue through this. Those roadblocks they're not a part of me anymore. They are not a part of me anymore. And you can continue through. Guess what happens after this? You've now stored a new solution and a new action plan in your subconscious mind that your body is actually going to hardwire and remember and store for you for the next time that specific roadblock comes up. And think about this. If you remember the action plans that worked well, maybe you can even add a couple more through time. When that next roadblock comes up, that same one, you're more likely to just dust through it. And the next time you do it again, you're more likely to dust through it again. And eventually that roadblock may not even come up. And if it does, it's barely going to phase you. The really cool thing is the more times you change your habits to something more positive from things you did in your past, You literally make that synapses in your brain stronger than the old habit. If you continue to do this more and more and more and more, this habit can actually chemically fall off of that habit, off of that roadblock, and not exist. You can replay that if you want. Yes. So we literally can rewire our mind. So forget patterns, forget habits, forget the things you've done in your past. It does not matter because you can change it. I love this stuff. This stuff is awesome. So I hope this was helpful for you. I really urge you, I love threes. I really urge you to sit down with your goals and find 3 potential roadblocks that are going to come up with you, and find 3 alternatives, A, B, and C, that are going to help you to get around that roadblock easily. And sit there and take some time with yourself and visualize each roadblock happening, because that's super easy because we've done them before. But visualize your mindset shifting and getting through that and busting through that roadblock. It's going to be a lot easier because now we have literally identified all those things, all those milestones, because now they're not roadblocks. All those milestones that are going to happen from point A to point B to allow you to succeed. Instead of having them just being roadblocks, we've transformed them to milestones. Wow, I got through that pattern. Wow, I got through that pattern. Wow, I got through that pattern. And now when you're at your goal in March, you are a new person. You literally can continue those habits and now make new ones because you're not going back down. You're not going back down. And if you do go back down, you actually have a way to identify what you're doing wrong or what you could adjust, never wrong, and you have a way to help yourself succeed. I hope this was helpful for you guys. This stuff, I love this stuff because it's just true. You know, we're shifting our mindsets because every single thing that we do is within our power. And you have to remember that, and you have to understand that. The universe is not working against you. It's working with you to bring out your strengths. When you overcome something, you become stronger. When you reach a goal, you become stronger. When you realize that it's all literally in your head, what you can control, you become stronger. And that is what we're living for. That's what life is. So I hope this was helpful. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Have a wonderful day.